Welcome to the future, where the glass is half full and you'll need new glasses, where you'll be jumping from conclusions.
The past is annulled, and a new future is born.
Never before in history has so much meant so little to so many. AD on the radio.
You know, we haven't talked since the super terrific big game, the one where the effigies of our founding fathers took on the avian predators of the northeastern city known for its peaches. We haven't spoken since that one. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, you have fun with that? Did you watch Sports Ball, Funkhauser?
Yeah. The Thing. Until the first half, and then I think I fell asleep, and something happened.
I'm watching it, and it is like the single most boring football game that I've ever seen. I was like, it's cool to see the underdog like crush the competition, but I mean, boring. And after the Lady Gaga halftime show, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take Milhouse out for a walk. And then I sit down and I'm like, oh, Milhouse needs his monthly heart medication. Like every single month, right around between the 1st and the 5th of the month, he gets his Heart Guard to prevent against heartworm. And man, he used to have this, like, I don't know what the difference is, but he used to be on Heart Guard. Now he's on TriHeart Plus, which apparently is better, deals with more different types of a greater number of potential parasites that could wind up getting into your dog's system. So TriHeart, I was like, that's cool, that's good. The only problem is Heart Guard, that stuff. Man, he thought it was like his birthday and Christmas rolled into one. Like, he loves that stuff. I don't know what they put in it, but whatever it is delicious to dogs named Milhouse, and he would go right after it. This TriHeart stuff has turned into a bit of a chore. Like, it's harder to give him that specific heartworm preventative. So before I take him out on the walk, I'm like, while this is top of mind, let's just go ahead and do this. You've just had dinner. Seems like a good time to give you the meds. And so we sit down after the Lady Gaga halftime show, and I'm administering the medication. And he is being a good sport about it, but still, it takes a little bit of time. And as I'm giving him his heartworm preventative, stuff starts to happen in this game. And it goes from being like the single most boring game of football I've ever seen in my life to the most incredible, historically significant, superb owl that anyone has ever seen, ever. It was kind of crazy, the turnaround. I know so many people that did exactly what Funkhauser did. Got to halftime, took a nap. Got to halftime, started watching a movie, and then went, oh, man, missed the good stuff. So it was interesting. It was kind of fun. I think one of the things that made it so unbelievably dull, unbelievably boring was the commercials. What a freaking snooze fest. Like, you watch these things to laugh. You watch these things to chuckle. You watch these things to be amused by creativity. And while there were some flickering moments of brightness with all that stuff, generally speaking, the entire thing was one giant parade of look, a lot of people call it political pandering, but it was one giant parade of inclusivity. And you know what? Here's the thing. It did not make for good viewing. It was dull, and you just want to laugh, and you want to have fun. You want to leave the politics at the door, and you want to be able to enjoy the game and entirely too many snack foods. That's sort of the tradition of the day. But that was not the case, not with the commercials. But here's the thing. As much as I was disappointed because I get a gutful of that stuff day in, day out, that's my profession. This is what I deal with, social issues, politics, every single day on this show. As much as those commercials didn't do a lot for me, or a lot of other people I know, in terms of bringing the ha-has, the hee-hees, and the amusement and the escape that people were looking for. There was one thing about that giant and never-ending parade of inclusivity, that giant and never-ending parade of political posturing, which, by the way, is a giant and never-ending parade of hypocrisy. Trump said one of the most profound things the other day where people were like, how can you be so cool with Putin? Look at him. And he's like, yeah, America, we're not so innocent. And these companies, these companies that are trumpeting on and on about how everyone should be accepted, how everybody is equal, all this sort of stuff. They're as guilty of hypocrisy as anybody else. What was that? Was it Audi? Is Audi a Swedish company, Funkhauser? I think it is.
I can ask my producer.
Yeah, Google Audi.
Hey Siri, is Audi a Swedish company?
Let me check that.
Oh. Hold Siri up to the microphone.
Yeah. It's German.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It seems like it's part of Volkswagen.
Oh, okay. So, like, Audi's a German company. I thought, see, my point, like, Audi did this commercial about, sort of like equality, and I thought it was kind of cute and sweet, but I was also like, aren't they a Swedish company? A place where, Sweden, a place where eugenics were openly practiced until 1983, but you're telling me it's a German company associated with Volkswagen having been invented by, Hitler! There was a certain amount of hypocrisy with the Super Bowl ads, but as much as they were boring and hypocritical, there was one thing about them that I really liked, and we'll get into that next.
Real radio. 104.1.
Where the left and right come together for fundamental truths. AD on the radio, on Twitter at ADSXE.
So, the Super Bowl, the commercials, Funkhauser, how do you think in terms of pure entertainment value? How do you think the Super Bowl stacked up to everything else that you've seen in the past?
I liked a couple of them. I liked a couple of the commercials.
You're a real media nerd, like you really are. Like that's what you are. That's what you do. So if there's anyone in a position to judge the entertainment value of these commercials, it would be our man Funkhauser. And you thought some of them were okay? Did any of them really make you laugh?
Make me laugh? No, made me think. All of them. Everyone had a message this time.
Well, that's the thing. It was like the message of political correctness and inclusivity and all of this sort of stuff. And I, for one, like if I watch a beer commercial, you know what I want to see? You know what I want to see? You know what I want to hear, Funkhauser? If I'm going to watch a beer commercial during the Super Bowl, you know what I want to bear witness to you? Bear witness to you. You know what I want to bear witness to when I'm watching a beer commercial during the Super Bowl?
Beer.
No. What's up? Like, come on. There was absolutely none of that. There were no sort of like big, fun, repeatable pop culture moments. Boring. But, as much as I thought they were boring, and as much as a lot of these messages were... Yeah, that's exactly how I felt the entire time. And as much as I was wildly unentertained, and as much as I was watching these going, like, the level of hypocrisy that when you do a little bit of research on the companies that is evident is just staggering. There is one thing that I liked. And I liked the fact that these Super Bowl commercials cost a freaking fortune. The production, the airtime, all the above, not cheap. And I really, really loved the fact that there were millions upon millions of dollars being spent by companies saying, this is what we believe and this is what we stand for. Like I said, ha-has and hee-hees, not so much. But a message from people in America that control vast sums of money, and that message being one of, that part in those documents our founding fathers laid down right around 1776? Those parts about life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the part about all men being created equal. We are, with our millions of dollars, supporting that message. A message of equality. Now, I understand why people got upset. I understand why people went, I didn't want politics. I wanted fun. I didn't want some sort of veiled reference to the fact that we should let refugees in when I think that's a dangerous thing. I wanted fun. But people standing up and saying, I believe in equality. And people standing up and saying, I believe in equality to the tune of millions of dollars. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing. And yeah, you can pull it apart. You can pick holes in it. You can say, well, this is, pandering at this is the lowest common denominator, pandering. This is hypocrisy at wild levels. These companies have hiring histories that make this look like this is not at all part of what their real agenda is. But you know what? That was then. This is now. And now millions of dollars have spoken during the most watched or one of the most watched sporting events of the year and said, we're about equality. And you remove all the infighting. You remove all the arguing. You remove the level of political discourse, which is basically just people angrily tweeting while they're on the toilet. That has overtaken America in the last couple of years. You remove all of that. Clear away all the rubble, all the trash, all the garbage, all the noise. And just think for a second about the principle of equality. That I didn't say for people coming into this country illegally. I didn't say anything about refugees. The principle of equality for every last one of us, man, woman. Doesn't matter what color of skin you were born into. Doesn't matter where you were born. The idea of equality. Focus on that idea in your mind and understand that during the Super Bowl, companies with large sums of money at their command spent large sums of money saying, this is important to us. Now, it's gross that finances would even enter into this, but it speaks to people in this country during these troubled and confusing times defining who they are and what is important to them in our America.
Houston's more stimulating talk radio, available anywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Download it now at kprcradio.com.
Don't get the blues, get all the news. We mean all of you guys out there in Radio Land. All aboard!
He's back. AD on the radio.
Give it up, yeah. Give it up, yeah. Bring this on, come on, come on.
Hey, had they still been around, who'd be celebrating their birthday this week, Funkhauser?
Who?
Ronald Reagan? Do I have that right? Can you check?
Will.
Wow.
Let me ask my producer. Hey, Siri, when is Ronald Reagan's birthday?
Ronald Reagan was born February 6th, 1911.
There you go. Yeah. Yesterday was Ronald Reagan's birthday. I knew it was Ronald Reagan's birthday week. Whatever else history may say about me when I'm gone, I hope it will record that I appealed to your best hopes, not your worst fears, to your confidence rather than your doubts. My dream is that you will travel the road ahead with liberty's lamp guiding your steps and opportunity's arm steadying your way. Ronald Reagan. I love that. I love the idea that it's beautiful. Let me read that again. Really, take a listen to this. Whatever else history may say about me when I'm gone, I hope it will record that I appealed to your best hopes, not your worst fears, to your confidence rather than your doubts. My dream is that you will travel the road ahead with liberty's lamp guiding your steps and opportunity's arm steadying your way. Now, there were a lot of people that did not like Ronald Reagan. There are a lot of people that will point to Ronald Reagan's economic policies as something that put us in a really bad place that we still haven't gotten out of. There was a lot of people that did not vote for Ronald Reagan, thought he was a bad idea. But the thing that I like the most about Reagan, and I think part of the reason why he is idealized by the right, is because of how he came across. I don't know why, but I've done a lot of reading about Ronald Reagan recently, about his time as president. And whether a person liked Ronald Reagan as president or not, you couldn't get around the fact that the way he went through life, and look, who knows what simmering cauldron was underneath it all? Probably only his closest friends and family and confidants. And I'm sure there's a tell-all book that would speak to the exact opposite of what I'm about to say. But you watch old video of the guy, and you can't get around the fact that he had a kindness to his manner and his actions. No matter what you thought of his ideas, of his policies, of how he implemented them, he had a kindness to his manner and his actions that made everyone feel like he was on their side. And you know, in the run-up to the election last year, there was all this chest thumping on the right. People were dropping Reagan's name like you wouldn't believe because they wanted to be associated with that. Ronald Reagan, for whatever reason, is definitely put up on a pedestal by folks on the right. And every single candidate was attempting to get voters to associate them with Reagan. There was all this chest thumping during the primaries about who was the most Reagan-esque candidate. And they all seemed to miss what made him so special. And that was the fact that he always made people feel like he had their back. I guess the same thing sort of applies to the Super Bowl. Really? Look, that's a cute 30-second homily. That's a cute 60-minute commercial trying to sell you beer. That's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to buy a product. But in a day and age where people need to feel like somebody is on their side, that's an important message. And it almost doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter what's behind that message. I mean, ultimately, they're trying to part you from your hard-earned money so you can buy some liquor that is going to make you forget about your troubles. That's really what's going on here. Let's not kid ourselves. But if there is a narrative being pushed that is one that makes people feel like someone is on their side, if there's a narrative of being pushed that makes somebody feel like somebody's got their back, the way Reagan made people feel like, I don't know about this guy, but I feel like his heart's in the right place. Well, that's a really important thing right now. And so that's it. That, I suppose, is really all I wanted to say about what we saw on Sunday. Except for maybe to add that, look, with this show, you may disagree violently with some of the things we say around here. And that's cool. Too much agreement kills a conversation. We're not trying to get into a room full of people, evangelize to folks that already agree with us. No, where's the fun in that? Where's the learning experience in that? Where's the conversation in that? Where's the opportunity to become a bigger person, a better person in that? Where's the opportunity to move the ball, humanity, further down the field in that? Answer, there isn't one. But I suppose what I liked about that series of commercials, I suppose what I liked about the memory, the myth of Ronald Reagan is the idea that even if you do disagree, this is somebody who's got your back. We've got your back. We really do. We're here for you and with you, and we're on your side. All right, Funkhauser, what's going on in the news?
But who has my front? That's the question. Well, breaking news, you're getting a lot of emails this morning.
Another set of breaking news. The engineering department still hasn't figured out how to switch that off. And that's not me getting emails. That's I'm not going to use his name, and I'm not going to tell you who he now works for.
Oh.
But there was an engineer in this building. That bing bong that you just heard, nobody could figure out where it was from. It's not me getting an email. It was happening on this computer, the studio computer. It was bothering me. It was bothering some other people on some other shows. And this is a guy who spent probably about 2 days tinkering around with the computer, trying to figure out where the bing bong came from and how to make it go away. And after those 2 days, he's like, I don't know, just keep an eye on it. If you think you know what causes it, let me know, and I'll see if I can fix it. I was like, that seems like you're asking me to do your job. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I called you. I can't. Yeah, exactly. That guy has now been promoted to the highest level, working directly for one of the biggest people in this company. One of these years, Funkhauser, you and I will figure out the fine art of failing upwards. I've got this succeeding down thing pat, but like this ability that people seem to have to fail upwards, leave a trail of half-finished BS jobs behind them and then go off to do something highfalutin. One of these days, I got to figure that one out. There's American exceptionalism for you. Do a half-ass job, take credit for a bunch of other stuff, get promoted. I have this thing, I have this weird thing, I have this work ethic, I have this idea of a meritocracy, I have this idea that hard work pays off, I have this idea that when you start something, you finish it, I have this idea that to be able to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, you got to know that you did a good job the day before, and you tried your hardest at absolutely everything that you did. Other people don't appear to be plagued by this affliction, Funkhauser.
I thought you were going on.
No, that's all I got. But you know what? I like that music. I mean... Yeah, damn Skippy.
You better.
Damn Skippy. So, from sea to shining sea, there's bing bongs everywhere by engineers that don't know what the hell they're doing, leaving half-finished jobs behind them, and I'm sick of it. Go on. What's happening in the news?
Tom Brady is still looking for his stolen game jersey from the Super Bowl.
Yeah, somebody stole it.
Really?
On the one hand, I could understand why he wants it. I get it. I totally understand. Hey, this is a historically significant game day jersey for you. That's win number 5. You want the shirt in which you got the win in such a historically significant and dramatic way. I get why you would be miffed that was gone, that was missing. But count your freaking blessings, dude. When Tom Brady was born, it was almost like God had extra lying around. Like, hey, Tom Brady, you're about to go off into the world. Oh, you know what? I don't know who this was supposed to go to, but have some more. Have some more.
Oh, look at all this extra. Today's your lucky day because you showed up late and you're last in line. Great.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. No, we've got to. Would you like? Here's a normal amount of talent. Have more than that. Here's how good looking your average person is. Have significantly more. Here's how much money the average person will make in their lifetime. I'm going to set you up with coupons for, let's say, like 70, 80 times that amount a year. Tom Brady complaining that somebody took his game day jersey. I understand why, but, if there's one guy who should be able to focus on what he does have as opposed to what he lost... There's your guy. And why would you want it? Why would Tom Brady want his stolen game day jersey from the Super Bowl back? I'm sure by now Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have already had sex on it.
Come on.
Not today.
Go on.
Lady Gaga continues to receive high praise for her halftime show.
I don't know why it's funny. It just is. Lady Gaga. And you hear that, Justin Bieber? Paying attention? Justin Bieber? If you want to be loved, jump off of a tall building. Go on.
Lady Gaga didn't really jump off all the way down from the roof of the stadium during the Super Bowl. She didn't really...
Yeah. No, it was camera trickery or something that she pre-recorded beforehand. I remember, just that shot, the opening shot of her. Like, I'm not bad with heights, but that was really, that's really something to be able to focus on putting on a performance when you are that high up in the air. I couldn't. I have a hard time holding this conversation as I'm sitting down. Like, the idea of being that high in the air and performing effectively not only to a camera, but to bazillions of people around the world and in the stadium. I always wonder about that stadium thing, Funkhauser. I always wonder because it's got to look good on TV, but you also want to be able to entertain a stadium full of people, and often these two properties are mutually exclusive. And I think she pulled it off. Like, really, really impressive stuff. But yeah. Lady Gaga did not really jump all the way down from the roof of the stadium during the big game halftime show. So it means that it was the Falcons who took the worst dive on Sunday. Go on.
Oh, hey, I actually have a clip of somebody on Lady Gaga. Here, listen to this.
But now we hear about Lady Gaga, who admittedly was part of the whole Pizzagate situation with the Spirit Cooking Lady, the Aleister Crowley events. She admits she has someone sleep in her room with her at night because she believes a demon's going to attack her.
Was that Alex Jones?
I think so, yeah.
Is that, like, that guy? I haven't been, I never want to prejudge.
He's still talking, too.
Anybody that does anything in the world of radio and has any kind, what we do, like, getting anywhere in this game is hard work. Talk radio is a good old boys club. And even if you're part of that network, it's hard work getting where you're going. And Alex Jones has achieved a lot. And one thing that people do is they take sound bites out of context and they rip people to shreds. And I haven't listened to I don't think I've ever listened to a full Alex Jones show. I don't really know what it's all about. However, have you heard a lot of people are saying he's as out there as he was before? It's in triplicate now. I'm
going to have to tune in.
Play that piece of audio back.
Oh, you want to hear that?
No, not the Alex Jones ugly cry.
The other thing I was playing?
Yeah.
Let me go back in the random system here. Guy says Lady Gaga put on a show here.
But now we hear about Lady Gaga, who admittedly was part of the whole Pizzagate situation with the Spirit Cooking Lady, the Aleister Crowley events. She admits she has someone sleep in her room with her at night because she believes a demon's going to attack her. Whether you believe in demons or not, when she wears meat suits and does all these rituals, and Madonna does it too.
Yeah, we're living in interesting times, to be sure. Hey, Funkhauser, when we come back, you know what we should do?
What?
Be normal.
Okay.
Real radio. Real radio.
104.1.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Today is Tuesday, the 7th of February. And you know what today is, Funkhauser?
Tuesday. That's all I got.
No, it's a special Tuesday.
There's no donuts today. Let's see. There's no sandwiches.
Show?
Red Tuesday.
Yeah, today is Red Tuesday, which, in case you did not know, is the day of the year that you are most likely to get dumped. Why? We'll get into the whys and wherefores of this because we tackle big and important issues around here a little later on after we roll through what remains of the news. What else is happening in the world, Funkhauser?
Well, I don't have to worry about that. Red Tuesday. Mark,
hey, I didn't want to talk about your relationship status on the air. If you bring it up, we're going to talk about it. But if not, are we talking about it or no?
A holiday I don't have to pay attention to whatsoever.
Yeah, there you go. What about yep, none of that costly gift buying. None of that trying to find a place to go eat dinner that is special. None of that sort of like trying to read through female signals of no, we don't have to do anything. Well, you better do something. Like it's tough day for guys, and you are free as a freaking bird. Free, I tell you, free. You could you could online date a little bit if you wanted to, Funkhauser.
On the most undateable day?
On the most undateable day? Well, no. I mean, everybody's getting dumped today, which means there's got to be a lot of people with loose
open
morals
house.
and low self-esteem wandering the internet streets looking for a little bit of validation. And you could be Funkhauser the Validator. You should, you know what you should do, Funkhauser? You should get on a religious dating app or a religious dating website. I don't know if you're religious or not, but it would be an interesting social experiment if you got on like JDate or better yet, Christian Mingle.
Are there any couples here? Anyone dating? Here's my advice for couples out there, okay? If one of you is going to lose a bunch of weight, you better both lose a bunch of weight. Because there's nothing worse than seeing a couple you haven't seen in years, and you're like, oh my God, Mark, you must have lost like 50 pounds. And Janet, hey! Anyone here date online? Any online daters? Why are you responding? The correct response is just shamed silence. My favorite ads on television now are ads for ChristianMingle.com. Oh my God. Christian Mingle. Doesn't it just sound filthy? I never understood JDate either. It's like, are you a Jewish man looking to meet exclusively Jewish women? My Jewish friends already have that dating service. It's called their mother.
So yeah, there's always that, Funkhauser. And you know what? I disagree with comedian Colin Yost. That's the SNL guy, I think. I disagree with him. Like, I don't think there's any shame in online dating. I just like literally, if you're single, if you're trying to meet somebody, if you're looking for somebody to date, and you have any kind of reticence to get on some sort of dating app or website, literally everyone is doing it. Case in point, there is now Tinder for monkeys. Did you hear about this, Funkhauser? Yeah, monkey Tinder, orangutan Tinder, rather. There's like there are female orangutans that they're trying to breed in various zoos across the world, and to find prospective mates, they're using orangutan Tinder. It's like, I'm not even joking. There's like there's an online dating service for orangutans.
Wow. And
if they're using it, who the hell are you to say no? I wonder though. I wonder what if a monkey gets orangutan Tinder and like they don't find a love match or they don't successfully mate. I wonder if there's any kind of I wonder if there's any kind of like provision or refund, because surely you would have to imagine that with orangutan Tinder, if the orangutan didn't meet a prospective mate, there's got to be some sort of monkey back guarantee. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you.
Monkey
thank you very
back
much.
guarantee.
The whole thing about orangutan Tinder, that's 100% true. Zoos are using sort of like online
That's
matching
actually really
services.
cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, look, there's endangered species out there, and I guess there's enough of a concern about this particular type of orangutan continuing to breed and be a part of the planet that they've decided to refine their searches. It's not good enough just putting two into a cage and hoping for the best. They've actually sort of like broadened the way they do things and narrowed things down digitally, and there you go. If it helps prevent extinction of a species, who are we to argue? Go on. What else, Funkhauser?
Mark Wahlberg was at the Super Bowl, but he had to leave before the Patriots come back because his son got sick.
Also leaving the game early, the Falcons defense. Go on.
Kim Kardashian him is campaigning for Kanye to do next year's Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, there you go.
Campaign.
Be easy for Kanye to top Lady Gaga as well. She jumped off the top of the stadium. He could do something significantly more dangerous than jump off the top of his own ego. Okay. Really, the whole show is just a downward arc after Monkey Back Guarantee. What else?
Well, let's see if we could save it right now. Axl Rose turned 55 yesterday.
55. I went and saw that Guns N' Roses reunion show, and you know what?
Did he do that?
Walked into my home afterwards, and had left the air conditioning on. Usually, I turn it off. Usually I switch the air conditioning off, or turn it down when I go out. But it was freaking freezing when I got in after the Guns N' Roses show. Without even thinking about it, I opened up the door. I was like, it's too cold. It's just you spend an hour in that man's presence, and every word ends with an ow, ow. 55? For some reason, I thought he was older than that.
Yeah, me too.
Sweet grandchild, oh mine. Go on.
A meteor appeared in the sky above Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa.
Yeah, very rare to see that sort of thing. Yep. Meteor appeared in the sky above Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa. However, still the rarest thing ever spotted in the Midwest remains a salad.
Real radio.
104.1.
There's something happening here, and you should know what it is.
The Dumbing Up of America. Now, more AD on the radio.
Today is Red Tuesday, the day you're most likely to get dumped, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit because we tackle big and important social issues around here after we get through what remains of the news. What else is going on, Funkhauser?
Well, Hooters is giving away free wings to single people on Valentine's Day.
Oh. Free wings and diarrhea. Wonder how they're going to verify whether or not Chris Christie is still married. Go on.
Tom Brady won his 5th Super Bowl ring, giving him the most ever for a quarterback.
Yeah, which is excellent news for Tom Brady, because before that, he had to settle for just being a handsome millionaire married to a supermodel with 4 paltry Super Bowl rings. Oh, the humanity. I, for one, think that it's high time something finally worked out for a good-looking rich white guy. Go on.
Donald Trump's doctor revealed that he uses Propecia.
That's
am I saying that right? Propecia?
Propecia? I think so. That sounds like that's a not go bald drug, right? Any hair care product that Donald Trump uses. I don't know if that's really a ringing endorsement. I don't know anything about that stuff. Fortunately, it's not a world that I've had to look into yet. Although, Funkhauser, we're getting to that age where, somebody asked me the other day, they're like, man, you've got a great head of hair. Do you use, Propecia or Rogaine? I was like, no. And they're like, well, you want to start now. Because and this was a guy who has, completely bald, giving me advice on how to keep my hair. But he was just like, you got a great head of hair, and you want to, don't make the mistake I made. And I'm like, is this ridiculous, or is this actually common sense? Should guys like us start using things like that to hold on to what we got? Mid-30s guys, because he was like, no, you want to keep the hair you have. Don't make the mistake I did. And I was just like, on the one hand, he's completely bald, telling me how I can hold on to my hair, which I think is more of a genetic lottery than anything else. On the other hand, maybe he has a point. Maybe he'd be going through life differently if he'd started to. Did anybody say that to you, Funkhauser?
No. I mean, you take after your grandpa, right? On your mom's side, isn't that how it goes? So I'm good. My grandpa was an Elvis impersonator. I'm going to have that hair for a long time.
See, I don't think that's true because my grandpa, like I was told by my family that was the case. They're like, because when I was a kid, I used to have really, really long hair. Like just, I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I looked like Anthony Kiedis from the Chili Peppers before he got a haircut. It was like down to my waist when I was in like the 9th grade. And my family would always say, a point of conversation when you have a long-haired kid sitting at the table with you, you're like, enjoy it while you can because you take after your grandfather, and your grandfather was bald at 19. And I remember talking to him about it. I was like, oh no. Is this going to be a thing, Grandpa? And he was like, by the time I was 19, actually, he didn't talk like that at all. He was quite a strong man for the majority of his life. But he was like, by the time I was 19, the way he put it was so cool and so old-timey. I loved it. I'll never forget. He was like, by the time I was 19, there was a lot more of my face to wash. I was just like, oh, that's awesome. This is a guy that built a house with his own hands for his family, for his 5 kids. This is a guy that was shot down behind enemy lines in Iwo. Like, he had the whole Iwo Jima experience. He's a decorated war hero with medals he never talked about. Kept it. I don't know if he even kept them. Just like this guy that went to Cornell University, like this incredible man of incredible weight and significance who was just so laid back, never once heard him say anything about any of his achievements ever, and he was just an incredible man. Like, decorated war hero, pilot in the Navy, guy who got a full ride to an Ivy League college because he was that freaking smart, graduated, and then worked from the ground up at one company until he retired, when he was running large chunks of it, and with his own hands built large chunks of his own house too. Truly one of those, like, just get the job done, right stuff, greatest generation guys. And like, I love how he put things, you know, like, by the time I was 19, there was a lot more of my face to wash. So like, I'm there petrified, you know, like checking the drain, like I'm 18 and a half, checking the drain every single day. And then I bucked the trend. I made it past the age of 19, held on to what was on my scalp. And by the time I was like 25, I was like, all right, I don't know where the genetics come from, but evidently it wasn't Gramps. So I don't know, Funkhauser, like that idea that it's your maternal grandfather that decides whether or not you're going to keep the Elvis impersonation style hair for the rest of your life. I don't think that's true, because according to that logic, I was supposed to be a cue ball at age 21.
Yeah, I'm a little worried now.
Like Grandpa.
Because I got a lot more forehead to wash myself.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I mean, not a lot more, but it's getting there. I'm starting to go down that road.
Well, Donald Trump's doctor revealed that he uses Propecia, the hair loss drug. And then equally surprising medical news, Charlie Sheen uses Valtrex and Marilyn Manson likes to stay out of the sun. You can read more about it in this month's issue of Medical News Monthly. Yeah, I don't know. And do you think you should just accept it, or do you think you should take drugs to prevent it, Funkhauser?
You should just accept it. I mean, what are we doing here? You know?
I don't know. But like at our ages, you know, like now we're like
it's
in our mid-30s.
If something's going to happen, it'll happen.
Like at our ages, I kind of feel like we've had a good run. You know what I mean? Like I have friends in high school that were like my grandpa, you know, cue ball at age 21. Guys with beautiful, thick heads of hair that, you know, like, you see them 2 years after graduation, you're like, what happened? They're like, what do you think happened? I went bald. Shut up. I was just like, wow, you know. So like, we didn't get dealt that hand. You know, we've had it for we've had.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're going to be all right. You know,
we've been blessed in the follicle department for many years longer than lots of other people. If it happens, it happens. What you gonna do? What else, Funkhauser?
The New England Patriots scored 31 unanswered points for a come-from-behind Super Bowl win over the Atlanta Falcons in overtime, 34-28.
Yeah, first ever Super Bowl to ever go into overtime. And the biggest comeback ever in Super Bowl history. 34-28, answering 31 unanswered points. Unbelievable. And Tom Brady won, as we said before, his 5th ring. So remember, kids, it pays to cheat. What else?
Elton John was at the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. big fan of teams coming from behind. It was interesting. Mike Pence was there, so you had the Vice President of America and the Queen of England in attendance. Go on.
Some people made a fan movie where Buzz Lightyear fights Darth Vader.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Wow.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But a fan movie? That's amazing. Who has the time to do something like that? Oh, wait. Guys without girlfriends. What else?
Blac Chyna celebrated Black History Month by posing for nude photos.
Oh, Rob Kardashian's baby mama Blac Chyna celebrated Black History Month by getting naked and having photographs taken of her. Oh, wait. Do you hear that? You hear that in the background, Funkhauser? You hear that loud, pronounced thunk? You know what that is?
What is that?
Harriet Tubman rolling over in her grave. All right, how much time do we have left?
4 minutes here.
Oh, okay. I guess we should talk about the fact that it's Red Tuesday. It's one of those, when it's Red Tuesday, you can't talk about how, you can't, well, we got to cover the Red Tuesday thing on Red Tuesday, don't we? We can't push that off till tomorrow like we do with every other subject on the show. Today's Red Tuesday. And that means today's the day where Funkhauser is going to be able to scoop up people that are in need of a little reassurance like you wouldn't believe. Why? Because today's the day of the year that you are most likely to get dumped because it's exactly 1 week from Valentine's Day. You want to break things off without seeming totally heartless about it? Apparently, this is the cutoff. See, this is the degradation of society. This is us devolving into animals. A week? What the? No. I do not believe in Red Tuesday. I do not believe in Red Tuesday. I believe in the turkey drop. We've talked about the turkey drop on the show. You remember what the turkey drop is, Funkhauser? All right.
I a victim of the turkey drop? No. After.
No. You weren't a victim of the turkey drop. Like, I thought it was bad enough that, like, all right, first and foremost, the turkey drop is this. If you are dating someone and you think that it might not be the way to go, you must break up with them before you make plans for Thanksgiving. This is why it's called the turkey drop. Because if you don't break up with someone by the time Thanksgiving rolls around, you are morally obligated to stay with them until Valentine's Day. And then you can't break up with someone right after Valentine's Day. So really, if you don't drop someone by that particular Thursday in November where you're celebrating Thanksgiving, you got them until at least March. Like that's the etiquette. That's the rule. That's the rule that should be observed. That is how you should go through life. That's the kind, decent thing to do. The idea that Red Tuesday, a week out from Valentine's Day, people are like, so long, see ya later. That's like, it just, that, the hell have we become? As Glenn Beck would say, who are we now? No, if you want to break up with someone, you do it in time for the turkey drop, or you don't do it at all until March. Nevertheless, we've devolved as a society, and apparently this is now the new socially accepted norm. If you want to break things off without seeming totally heartless about it, today is the cutoff, Red Tuesday. The cheating website, illicitencounters.com, did a survey. Isn't it crazy that there's more than one cheating website out there, Funkhauser? Like,
there's a whole market.
There's a whole market for people that just, it's banana. Can you, as a single guy, you're into dating apps and stuff like that on occasion. Can you, as a single guy, go offer your services, if you know what I mean, and I think you do, on illicitencounters.com? Or do both of you have to be in a relationship? Do you know how that works, Funkhauser?
I don't know how that one works, no.
Could you just offer yourself up as side action, or do you have to, is it double indemnity, where you both have to have something to lose? I don't know. But the cheating website, illicitencounters.com, did a survey, found 30% of people have broken up with somebody a week before Valentine's Day. And you got to bear in mind, consider the source. With all surveys, consider the source. They polled the people that signed up for accounts on illicitencounters.com. So the number might be lower for non-cheating scum. 80% said the main reason they did it was so they wouldn't feel guilty faking their way through Valentine's next week. Now, I get that. You know, you want to be real. You want people to spend these important days, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and then Valentine's Day with somebody who really loves them. And if you've been faking it since Thanksgiving, I could understand the compulsion to bounce at this stage in the game. 55% of people said they broke up with a person face to face. 28% did it over the phone. 12% did it over text. And 5% did it on social media. Oh. Eesh. Well, know this. If you got turkey dropped, or if you are falling victim of Red Tuesday, there's one very important thing that you should know. Funkhauser and I, we love you. Not unlike a rotund infant enjoys baked confections. Yes, that's right. We love you like a fat kid loves cake. Thank you for hanging out.